The Mariana Trench became known in 1875, when the British research ship Challenger first studied the depth of this place with the help of a deep sea lot. A deep sea lot is a tool for measuring depth, which is a rope with meter marks applied to it and a heavy, about 30 kilograms load, which is gradually lowered into the water. By the tension of the rope, you can determine when the lot touches the bottom. Probably, the ship's crew was very surprised when they unwound kilometers of rope so that the lot could finally reach the bottom. According to the results of the study, it was determined that at the deepest point the bottom is located at a distance of 8,367 meters from the surface of the ocean. In 1951, a new British expedition on the Challenger 2 vessel, using an echo sounder, determined the depth of the depression at 10,863 meters, with an error of 100. The depth of the bottom varies depending on its relief. Since then, the deepest point on the planet has been called the Challenger Abyss. Progress was moving forward, and people began to think about visiting the bottom of the Mariana Trench with the help of a manned deep-sea vehicle. The first two people in history who were able to reach the deepest point of the globe are Swiss scientist Jacques Piccard and US Navy Lieutenant Don Walsh. The device that made it possible to dive under extreme pressure was named Trieste and was originally built by two Swiss enthusiastic scientists, Auguste Piccard and his son Jacques Piccard. After a series of successful dives in the Mediterranean, the Trieste was purchased by the US Navy, which was interested in exploring the ocean depths. After upgrading the bathyscaphe, installing a heavy-duty gondola and modern navigation and electronic systems, the Trieste was ready to conquer new depths. The goal for the dive was chosen no less than the deepest point of the globe. As part of the project, dubbed Necron, it was planned to deliver two people to the bottom of the Challenger Abyss in the Mariana Trench and carry out on-site scientific research. On January 23, 1960, at 8:23 local time, the Trieste with Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh on board began a slow descent into darkness. After 4 hours and 43 minutes, the bathyscaphe touched the bottom at a distance of 10,919 meters from the ocean surface. For the first time, a person found himself at the bottom of the deepest place on the planet. The pressure, 1072 times higher than normal, squeezed the gondola of the bathyscaphe with terrible force. The researchers stayed at the bottom for 20 minutes, during which they conducted a series of scientific experiments to measure radiation, measured the water temperature, which was 3.3 Celsius, the air temperature in the gondola was 4.5 Celsius, took a large number of photos of the ocean floor and even saw a small fish similar to a flounder. After dropping the ballast, the bathyscaphe began the ascent, which lasted 3 hours and 27 minutes. For a long 52 years, no one else has conquered the Mariana Trench, limiting himself only to descending into the abyss of the Challenger of automatic robots. Who would have thought that the next person who decided to visit the bottom of the Mariana Trench for the first time in many years would be not some ocean scientist, but the famous Hollywood director James Cameron. On March 26, 2012, Cameron made a dive to a depth of 10,908 meters on the Deep Sea Challenger. The Deep Sea Challenger bathyscaphe, which contains the latest scientific equipment and 3D cameras, implies the presence of only one pilot in the cockpit, but it allows you to stay underwater for up to 56 hours and freely maneuver on the ocean floor with the help of 12 electric motors. During the investigation of the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the director conducted video and photography, and also, with the help of manipulators, took samples of ocean soil, where, as it turned out later, microorganisms unknown to science were present. At the moment, James Cameron is the third and last person to visit the deepest point of the planet, the Challenger Abyss at the very bottom of the Mariana Trench. In total, only 2 underwater vehicles with people on board sank to the bottom of the Mariana Trench.